Hey y'all, it's Lindsay. Welcome back to Mondays on Daily Diabetics. This week's theme is blank with T1D. So basically, any of the members can pick something to talk about related with type 1 diabetes. So for example, I'm going to be talking about driving with type 1 diabetes, and some people may talk about sports with type 1 diabetes, work with type 1 diabetes, school with type 1 diabetes, etc. So it's kind of open up to interpretation, which I really like. But with all that being said, I'm just going to jump into the video and tell you guys. I want to very quickly apologize because I have no earthly idea what my hair is doing. It is just a hot mess, so I sincerely apologize for that. My tips and tricks for driving with type 1 diabetes. So basically, when it comes to driving with diabetes, you just have to be really aware of yourself. So I live in Kentucky, and when I first got my permit and my license, one thing they ask is, do you have any medical conditions? And you'll say yes, type 1 diabetes, and they'll ask you a bunch of questions, and I think they ask these questions to everyone: if you had a seizure within the last 90 days, if you wear glasses, all that stuff. So I do wear glasses for driving, but at the time I didn't. So I took my permit test, I passed, took my driving test, passed, and then I was like, yes, I'm free, I can drive. And then all of the thoughts came into my head about driving with diabetes. So a few tips that I have is to keep snacks with you. Keep them in your car and say, these are for my car only and for emergencies only. So I keep snacks in like my middle console, like my armrest, you know. I keep snacks there. I have some fruit snacks and some peanut butter crackers, I believe. And then I actually used to keep like a little plastic shoebox or like container in my car with some juice and some snacks, or like a bunch of snacks. But that's really difficult to do, especially in the summer. In Kentucky it gets really hot, and then in the winter it gets really cold. I don't want the juice to freeze and bust or get too hot to drink. So I keep like juice and stuff in my purse, but I definitely recommend keeping some snacks with you. I mean, obviously we're supposed to keep snacks with us all the time, but definitely keep 3 or 4 things in your car that you know are there no matter what. Like, I know right now if I walked out to my car and opened up my armrest, there would be a pack of fruit snacks in there, and I could eat it if I needed to. My second tip for driving with diabetes is to check your blood sugar before you even turn your car on. This is a lot easier with a Dexcom because I can just look at my phone and be like, oh, I'm 130, I'm good to drive. Definitely either physically check your blood sugar or look at your Dexcom or your Libre or whatever CGM you have and make sure that your blood sugar is okay to drive. I prefer to drive more on the higher side, so like if I'm like right around 80, I may eat a couple of peanut butter crackers before I drive because I don't want to get low while driving. On the topic of getting low while driving, if you are low before you even start driving, don't start driving. Sit in your car, eat a snack, wait 15 minutes. It's not worth the risk of driving low in order to get somewhere on time when it could risk your life or someone else's life. My endo has always compared driving with a low blood sugar as driving drunk. So just think about it in that aspect. You wouldn't want someone who had 6 beers or 6 cups of wine to drive. So why would you drive as a type 1 diabetic with your blood sugar low? So if you are driving and you do get low, pull over, turn your car off, and eat a snack and wait 15 minutes. Don't keep driving and think, oh, I can make it, I'll be fine, I'll get there, no worries. Because I have had to pull over when I'm low, and it is scary to drive when you're low. I didn't drive far when I was low, but I started to feel low, so I pulled over. And it's kind of scary because you do feel off and you can't really judge distances as well, or at least personally I couldn't. So it was just really scary, and it's just not worth the risk to me to drive low. And on the opposite end of the spectrum, if your blood sugar is super high, I don't think it's the best thing to drive. Now if you're like borderline 200, maybe 250, you should be fine. But I know if I drive and I'm like 400, which doesn't happen often, let me clarify, but it has happened a few times. It's scary too because you're stressed about your blood sugar being high. You're stressed about getting home or to work. You're just overall stressed, and when you're stressed from diabetes and driving, it's really dangerous. Honestly, driving with type 1 diabetes isn't that different than someone without diabetes and driving. You just have to be more aware of yourself. I've had to pull over on the highway a few times to give insulin or to raise a low blood sugar, and then I sit there for a few minutes and I'm fine and I keep driving. So just be aware of yourself, be aware of your body, and be smart about it, and you are totally fine to drive. Just because you're diabetic doesn't mean you can't drive, obviously. You just have to be more aware of yourself and your surroundings and your body. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope it helped some of you guys out. If it did, drop a like down below to let me know. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel by clicking the red button down below. It really helps all of us out. With all that being said, I will see you guys next week for another Monday video. I love y'all so much. Bye!